The determination and commitment that I think ballet dancers show is greater and deeper than any other generalized profession that I've ever encountered.
This little envelope thing, and you do the turn, I don't even need a straight leg. Yes. Yes.
Daily commitment to doing the best that they can, to bringing something to life, but also to keeping themselves in peak physical condition and really working their bodies in very challenging ways. And it's every day for many hours. And I am inspired by them. And so that's what it reminds me of, is just that feeling of hard work and commitment. And I love getting to work with dancers, whether it's sitting behind a desk or planning a season or watching them in the studio. I think that dancers bring something very special to the world. And so I'm thrilled to get to work with them.
Hey, Opa. So this is jet glue, which it's basically like crazy glue, and it just makes, when the shoe gets like sweaty and like dead, we call them dead, we just glue them and then they get hard again, and so we can wear them longer.
This is probably the second pair I've sewn in the last week. So yeah, it kind of depends what all we're doing on point. And it definitely takes a lot of time, especially if like you do the darning around the tips. So like I have here too, that takes a lot longer than just basic sewing. So yeah, it definitely makes your fingers hurt.
This season is much more condensed than like a normal season would be. So like normally we'd put on like a triple bill and we'd have like 6 or 7 weeks to prepare for it. And we had 3 weeks for this one. So it's just like, it's more intensive.
There are rules that classical ballet has to have. Classical ballet has to have a point shoes, that the female has to wear point shoes.
And then go like this, and then just walk out, or whatever you want to do.
Classical ballet has to have tutu. Classical ballet has to have a music, some sort of a fairy tale music, ends up happily after. It's very difficult to change the choreography, and the choreography is set. And if it is real classical, for example, Swan Lake, the second act Swan Lake is always the same. You cannot change it. But for contemporary ballet, there are no rules.
Flex, always flex. These are always flex. It's totally a hold down.
There's a lot to be said for the historical, beautiful works that we've seen for a long, long time. But there's also just incredible work being done that pushes our limits, that pushes the physical limits.
But now look up on the push.
It pushes the emotional limits of what we can evoke from a stage or from a screen. But I think that the spirit piece is really the drive that all artists have in order to continue doing what they do. Being an artist is not an easy way of life. And I am just inspired by them on a daily basis for how hard they work, how dedicated they are to their art form. And this is such a great example of what that looks like in real time.